He walked out of our lives in 2016 like he was going to school. Just a regular Wednesday morning. Wore the same black jacket, same untied shoes, same blank stare. Said nothing at breakfast. Didn't touch his eggs. Said he forgot his backpack inside but never went back for it. And then he vanished. No calls, no footage, no sightings. Cops searched the neighborhood. Said maybe he ran away. Said, kids do this sometimes. My parents fought nonstop. My dad started drinking more. My mom just stopped talking altogether. We held a service 6 months later. Not a funeral, just some photo collage in a church no one liked. They printed his face on paper programs. I couldn't look at them. It felt like pretending we didn't fail him. That was 7 years ago. I was 19 then. I'm 26 now. I never stopped looking. Not officially, just background checks, social media alerts, missing person databases. I kept his photos in a folder I never opened but never deleted. Then last month I got a call from a local clinic. Not police, not FBI. Just a small mental health center 30 miles away. A man walked in barefoot, dirty, disoriented. Said he didn't know his name, didn't carry ID. But when they showed him a list of missing persons, he pointed to my brother. He said, "That's me." I didn't believe it until I saw him. Thinner, taller, hair buzzed short, hollow eyes, but it was him. Same scar on the chin, same left ear bent slightly inward. I said his name. He flinched, then blinked, like the sound meant something distant, like thunder in another town. I asked him if he knew who I was. He said no. I asked if he remembered anything. He said one thing. Dad didn't die by accident. And that's when everything cracked, because my dad died 2 years after my brother disappeared. House fire. Electrical, they said. That night he was drunk and alone. I remember the smell of burnt insulation. I remember the fire trucks. I remember how the cops said it was a tragic accident. I remember how the case closed quietly, but now my brother says it wasn't. I took him home with me. My apartment's small, but he didn't want space. Slept on the floor for the first 3 nights. Kept the lights on. Flinched at door slams. Didn't ask for anything. Barely ate. He was stuck in some halfway place. Not quite present, but not lost. And slowly pieces started coming out. He remembered a door. He remembered a rope. He remembered my dad yelling. He remembered someone locking something from the outside. He remembered fire, and then silence. He never said where he'd been, who took him, why he came back now. Just that he'd had enough. Like something inside him reached a threshold. I told my mom he was back. She came over the next day and broke down when she saw him. Tried to hug him. He didn't hug back. She asked what he remembered. He said, "Not you." She left before I could stop her. Now I'm sitting here wondering if I'm the only one who ever suspected something. My dad wasn't a good man. He controlled everything. Our money, our time, our decisions. My brother was always the quiet one. The one who got hit more. The one who kept his head down. And now he says Dad's death wasn't accidental. No one ever looked into it. No one ever asked, but I am. Because if my brother disappeared for 7 years to survive something, and came back only to whisper that truth, I'm not letting it fade again. I didn't sleep the night he said it. I just sat in the hallway, knees pulled up, staring at the locked bedroom door while my brother lay on the floor inside, completely still. He hadn't said more than 5 words that whole day. Just that one sentence. Dad didn't die by accident. He said it like fact. Not a memory, not a suspicion. A statement. The next morning, I drove to the county clerk's office. The original fire report was 3 pages long. Cause, faulty wiring. Origin, kitchen electrical socket. Victim, Michael L. Found unconscious on the living room floor. Pronounced dead at the scene. I flipped through it 3 times. Nowhere did it mention what my mom told me back then. That the front door had been barricaded from the inside. That was the rumor. That's what people in town whispered after the fire. That he might have done it himself, but even then it didn't make sense. My dad was a bastard, but he was a narcissist. He didn't go out quietly. He didn't believe in weakness. Now the report was clean. Sanitized, just an accident. No scene photos, no eyewitness interviews, no mention of the neighbors who called 911. I asked for the dispatch log. They said it was sealed. Sealed. That's when I called my mom. I asked her if she remembered what time she got the call that night. She said, "Why are you doing this?" I asked again. She said, "Don't start digging. Just let him heal." That was the wrong answer. I asked her why the report didn't mention that the fire started in the basement, not the kitchen, which was what the first firefighters told us at the time. She paused, then said, "You need to drop this," and hung up. I sat there staring at the dial tone. Cold. Buzzing. I hadn't heard that tone in years. It felt final. Like she didn't just hang up on the call, she hung up on me. That night, my brother started sketching something on the back of a grocery receipt. I asked what it was. He said, "Basement window." That's where it started. He remembered the basement being locked. He remembered something dripping. He remembered yelling. He remembered footsteps above him. And then, the fire. I asked him if he saw our dad down there with him. He said yes, but that dad never came back. The memory wasn't linear. It came in fragments. Smell of gas, heat, then the sound of wood cracking. I asked him who let him out. He said, "I don't know." I woke up in the woods. I didn't press. I could tell pushing would shut him down. Instead, I started calling people. The fire marshal from that year? Retired? The neighbor who called 911? Moved states? The lead investigator on the case? Died of a heart attack 2 years ago. It felt like the entire chain of answers was already gone. Except one. My uncle, Dad's brother, came by a few days after the fire. I remember him helping Mom with insurance, handling paperwork, helping her sell the land. He stayed quiet at the memorial, said very little, then left town. I found his address through a real estate record in Michigan. Wrote him a letter. Didn't give details. Just asked if he remembered that night. He responded in 5 words. "Don't ask questions you regret." I pinned the note to the fridge and stared at it for days. By then, I was sure my dad didn't die by accident. Someone helped him burn, and someone wanted it erased. But what made it worse? I didn't think it was just about him. I think my brother wasn't supposed to survive either, because now, even though his memory is shattered, something in him knows, and someone out there might be waiting for him to remember more. The moment everything clicked wasn't dramatic. It wasn't some scream or big reveal. It was quiet. It happened while I was doing dishes. My brother walked up behind me and said one sentence. "She was wearing red." I asked who. He said, "The one who locked it." My hands went still in the water. I asked again. He repeated it like it was obvious. "She was wearing red. She smelled like cigarettes. She was crying." My mother smoked. I told myself that wasn't enough. It couldn't be her. She wasn't strong enough to do something like that. She could barely raise her voice, let alone lock her son and husband in a basement and walk away. But I couldn't ignore the details anymore, so I started digging in the last place I hadn't touched. The will. My dad's will was supposedly straightforward. No lawyers. Just one signed copy Mom kept in a fireproof box. She said it all went to her. Always had. But when I requested a certified copy from the county, the timeline didn't match. The will had been updated 3 weeks before the fire. Originally, it split the house between her, me, and my brother. The new version gave everything to her. No explanation, no witness signatures, just a notary stamp from a name I didn't recognize. I called the notary, disconnected. I asked my mom why the change happened. She said, "Your father wanted things clean." That was it. No emotion. Just the line she had ready. But my brother remembered more now. He remembered being told to go to the basement after dinner. He remembered Dad already down there yelling. He remembered hearing the door shut. Then click. He remembered smelling gas, his nose burning, his dad screaming, then nothing. He remembered waking up outside, cold, wet, alone in the woods. He said someone pulled him out, but he didn't see who. So I started thinking, what if she didn't expect the fire to spread that fast? What if she wanted him gone, both of them, and only one died? I confronted her, not with a fight, not with an accusation. I just put the certified will copy on her table and asked, "Why did you change it before the fire?" She stared at it for a long time, then said, He was going to take everything. Leave us nothing. I asked who us meant. She said, me and you, not him. And that was the only time she called my brother not family. She said he wasn't like us, that Dad treated him like the favorite. The Dad told her one night he wished he only had one child, that the house would be his, not mine, that she wouldn't let that happen. She said Dad hit her the night she found the original will. That she hit back, that she planned everything after. She admitted to sealing the door, lighting the fire, walking away. But she didn't know my brother was down there. And when he showed up in the woods hours later, burned, barely conscious, she told the police he ran away during the panic. Said she hadn't seen him since. That was easier than jail. I asked her why she never looked for him. She said, I didn't want to find a body. I left without another word. 3 days later, I sent the county sheriff a copy of her taped confession. I didn't even feel guilty. They arrested her a week later. Arson, homicide, fraud, attempted murder. She's waiting for trial I don't visit. My brother lives with me now. He's remembering more slowly. Bits and pieces. But the worst part is this. He still asks me, why did she leave me? And I don't know how to answer that.